And again, I want it just above my knees here, okay? So I'm going to, again, you don't have to do this back against the wall. I just like doing it against the wall because it just makes it a little bit more specific, just helps keep our body in the right position. Okay, so if we want to get the most out of this, I'm going to show you how ideally we should do it if we're doing the clams. So like I said, I mentioned before that TFL muscle again, and I did in the previous video, spoke about where we went through the release of the TFL. I said about how it just gets this very high propensity to becoming short. And again, it will try and do the work of the gluteus medius muscle, which is one of the muscles we're going to fire up, again, if this is underactive. So again, we want less TFL, more glute. So how do we do that? We're going to lay on our side, okay, up against the wall. And with my foot, my top foot, I'm going to rest my top foot on my bottom foot, but I'm just going to turn this top foot in to the floor. So my big toe is resting on the ground. So what I'm doing, I'm turning the shin bone, the tibia bone, inward. And what the TFL does, it actually turns it outward. So if I turn it inward, it's just going to help to shut that TFL muscle down and get it out of the way. Okay? I'm not going to make sure I'm side bending because, again, that'll get another muscle in our spine, which we'll want to take over. I don't want that. I want to lay flat, so I don't want that QL muscle fired up. I want to lay completely flat. And again, what I'm going to do, again, I've got my knees not bent all the way up here, they're about 60 degrees, okay, so they're about halfway bent, okay, so something along those lines is fine. And all I'm going to be doing, I'm going to start to squeeze my glute, I'm going to open that top leg up, okay, and imagine I'm going to try and rip that band in half, and push that all the way, go as high as I can, keeping my back against the wall so my pelvis is nice and stabilised. I'm going to hold it for 4 seconds and I'm going to come down for 2, just halfway. So I want to keep some tension on this band. I don't want it to completely slacken. I want to keep some tension on there and then I'm going to push it all the way back up. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back down halfway, push it back up, hold it, really squeeze it. Come back down. Nice and slowly, okay? So we're doing 4 seconds hold at the top, coming back down halfway. So we can change the tempo a little bit if we're working on our mobility and we're working on that hip mobility and we're trying to get that, we're trying to hold on to that new mobility, that new range of motion we've just got from doing the mobility techniques. Holding 4 seconds at the end is a good way to get strong in that new range of motion we've just got. So when we get some new range of motion from doing mobility exercises, if we don't use the new range of motion, we will lose it. So we need to get strong in it. So holding it for 4 seconds, again, just helps us get strong, get solid in that new range of motion. The other tempo we could do is if we want to work on deceleration and control, which is of that muscle, which is going to be very good if you're if you're an athlete who does a lot of jumping, or if you're a runner and you want to work on just keeping that knee joint where it should be, work on control, work on landing mechanics. What you can do again is hold for 2 seconds, but then come down for 4 seconds. So just working nice and slowly, working on that control, that deceleration. Again, if that's what you're trying to do, again, if you're doing some rehab work and you want to work on absorbing force from the ground every time you land, again, if you're a runner or a jumper, or a football player or a rugby player even, we can do it there. So we can go up for 2, we can hold it for 2, we can come down for 4 seconds. Okay, so up for 2, hold for 2, down for 4. So the amount of reps we want to do is ideally between 12 and 20 repetitions. Okay, so again, we may want to start at 12 and work up to 20. If we can do 20, no problem, we're going to get a stronger band. Okay, so we can go from a medium band to a extremely strong band if you want.